Okay, Mark Brennan for jamplay.com. Welcome back. Glad you could join me. Continuing on with my basic electric guitar series for you. This is lesson 11. And since we know the notes in the first position, we know the notes in C major, we're going to check out the E minor pentatonic scale today for you. Now what I'll do is I'll show you the, shall we say, the open position E minor pentatonic, which involves the open strings, and we'll learn it all the way across the fretboard. And then what I'll do is I'll show you a cool little E minor pentatonic riff that you can learn and jam on and practice the techniques we talked about in the previous lesson with palm muting and eighth notes, and it'll be around the 12-bar blues. So grab your axe, tune up, crank it up a little bit, and we'll get it going. Okay, we're back. E minor pentatonic, all the way across the neck in the open position using open strings. Okay, now a lot of people refer to this as a box, a minor pentatonic box, and it has kind of a boxy geometric shape to it. If you look at it on a fretboard diagram, you can see how it shapes across the fretboard. Now you definitely want to memorize this. You want to get real comfortable with it. You want to get it under your fingers. All right, so let's get at it. Now it's E minor pentatonic, so the root note is E. Okay, it'll correspond with an E5 power chord. Okay, this scale works with an E5 power chord. E minor pentatonic. So there's our root note, the E. Now we'll use the first position fingerings here. Okay, so we'll use our ring finger on the G. Okay, so we skip the F. We go from E to G. Okay, now we go to the open A and then the B with our second finger. Now open D and the E on our second finger, second fret. There's the tonic note again, an octave higher. Okay, we'll continue on with the open G. There's our A. Open B. Now the D. Third finger. And then there's the tonic note again, the open E, and then the G. Let's descend. There's the tonic E, D, B, A, G, E, D, B, A, G, and E. So as far as memorizing it goes, it's a finger pattern. It's a box shape that you can visualize across the fretboard. Okay, it's not as involved as a 7-note major scale or minor scale. It's really a 5-note scale. Okay, it's, and then you repeat it. So you need to get that under your fingers. All right, so let's practice it a little bit. Let's go over it. Why don't we do it in half notes? Okay. Set yourself a nice, easy tempo. And I got the old Dr. Beat out here. Have to hammer away on the metronome, but you know I keep harping on good rhythm. Let's see. Let's go back to our good old 85 at the quarter note, and we'll try it in half notes. Okay, we'll descend from the low root up to the G on the first string, and then back down to the root again on the low 6th string. Okay, half notes. And 2. here's our high G. Now we're going to descend. Should sound familiar. I mean, it's rock and roll, man. If you're listening to rock and roll, you're listening to any of these soloists, this is the scale that they're probably using. Maybe in a different key. A lot more fancy stuff going on, but that's the scale, E minor pentatonic. Okay, so what we'll do going forward is we'll learn how to use the scale. We'll learn more left-hand techniques. We'll learn some tricks to come up with some cool riffs. All right, what do you do with the scale? You learn riffs, okay? So what I'm going to do is we're going to do a real easy 12-bar blues riff that's fun to play, and you can get your palm mute going, okay? And it'll be in eighth notes, okay? It's pretty much all eighth notes. We do use quarter notes in here too. You can see it on the supplemental material. And we're gonna use palm mute, and we're gonna get off the palm mute. Okay. So here's the riff. Okay. This is like a repeating riff that repeats over and over again. Okay, so you got the low E. Now eighth notes. Okay. It's kind of like you're attacking most of these notes twice, except at the very end of the bar. Now you got the B and the G and the E. Fingering, open, second finger, open, second finger, third finger on the G and the E. Okay? Now let's try it with palm mute. Okay? Okay, again. Okay, that's the first part of the riff. Now we're going to do kind of a riff that involves the top part of the scale. Okay, real simple, straight down the minor pentatonic, starting on the G. All downstrokes. Okay, I would suggest maybe rest stroke these notes. Now you do it twice. Now what that does is it covers the first 4 bars of your 12-bar blues, okay? Now in this case, we're in the key of E because we're starting as our one chord being the E, okay? But it's a minor pentatonic riff, okay? Now, going forward, we do the riff starting on A. Okay, now we're going to add a different note from the scale. We're actually using a note from the A minor pentatonic. We're going to use the C. Okay, like that. And then we do this riff again. And then we're back to the first riff around E. Now here's where it comes to the 5 chord. Okay, now in the key of E, the 5 chord is B, so we're going to do this riff around B. It changes up a little bit here. We're going to palm mute the first note, and then, okay, that's right around the minor pentatonic scale. Then we're going to go to the A. And that little rip on the minor pentatonic, and then this one. Okay, cool little minor pentatonic 12-bar jam for you. Okay, we'll pick it up to 85. And palm mute. No palm mute. All downstrokes. Palm mute. No palm mute. And palm mute. Palm mute, lift. Palm mute, lift. Palm mute. All right, pretty cool. Okay, now let me show you a really nice left-hand trick that kind of puts some spice on certain notes. We call this the quarter step bend, okay? If I do this first riff like this, okay, it sounds cool, but what I'm going to do is on the G, the last eighth note in the first bar, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull that note just a little bit, bend it just slightly, and then I'm not going to release the bend. I'm just going to lift and play the E. So instead of just going, okay, I'm going to funk it up a little bit with a quarter step bend. Okay, now the thing that I tell my students about this is don't do it too early, don't do it too far as the bend goes, and wait till the end of the bend, wait till the end of the duration of the note to do it. Like that. So if it was faster, it would be like that. Don't bend and release it like that. Just pull the string a little bit, pick up your finger, and play the open E. Do it there. Okay, so see that gives a little funk to it. You can experiment with other notes too. How about that sounds kind of cool right there on the B. There. But every time you go from the G to the E, do that little quarter step tweak. Okay, it really sounds cool. Okay, how about a little faster? Let's do it again. Not too crazy. Here's 112. And with an E5 power chord. Put a little pop on the ending of it. Okay, so there you have it. Your basic E minor pentatonic. Hope you have fun with that riff. We'll take a break here. I'll come back and wrap up, and we'll look forward to the next lesson. Okay, this wraps up the E minor pentatonic, the first segment of it that we're going to do. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you're having fun with it. Hope you're rocking out. So you want to memorize the scale. Get it under your fingers real good. Practice it slow, steady tempo, and get real comfortable with it. And start noodling around with it. You're going to find that there's a lot of cool things you can do with this scale. Just, be creative with it. Use that little 12-bar blues jam that we did as kind of a starting point. Those are pretty straight-up riffs along the minor pentatonic. Now what we'll do is we'll get a little more involved with it in our next lesson. We'll start to learn some riffs that involve different left-hand techniques like hammer-ons and pull-offs. Okay, this adds a little spice and flavor to the riffs and allows you to play with more speed too. It's not a matter of picking every note. You're hammering and pulling notes with your right hand, and it really opens up a lot of possibilities for you. And then we'll also talk about vibrato in the next lesson too. So it really starts to sound really cool. You really start to get your own identity when you start using these different left-hand techniques because you're putting your stamp on your sound and your style. Okay, so we got that to look forward to. Till then, I'm Mark Brennan, and you are on jamplay.com, and we'll see you next time. Thanks.